what does success look like to you? If I were to ask you to think of someone you think is successful, the person you're thinking of is probably different from the person your neighbor is thinking of. We all have our own definitions as to who is successful, what success looks like, and how we define success. But the variety in our ideas of success is not reflected in the images and the media that we see. If you search for successful people, this is what you get. And this is interesting, because what this is telling you is that success really is male, white, and often wearing a tie. And you might think this is not terrible, at least this is quite positive. These are positive images of success. But what happens when you don't have images of success that look like you? Researchers have found, and Dr. Nicole Martins of Indiana University has found that there's something that we call symbolic annihilation, which means that if you don't see people who look like you in the media that you consume, you must be unimportant. And if you're a minority, a person of color, a woman, a Muslim like me, then what this means is you don't see anyone that looks like you who's successful. You don't see anyone who looks like you who's considered as successful. And there's a gap between the people you know in your community who you know to be ambitious, to be hardworking, to be creative, to be successful in their own right. But their success is not portrayed anywhere. And this doesn't reflect the reality of our experience. This underlines instead the gap between the equal distribution of talent among communities and the unequal distribution of opportunity. Technology was supposed to fix this. Technology was supposed to create a more equal playing field, a more level playing field for anyone, anywhere in the world. We have the internet, and so we can communicate with people anywhere we want to, in video form, in text form. You have social media, so you can hear from different opinions and different voices all around the world. You can learn skills online. And this is all true, but this is not enough. In America, less than 20% of startups have a female founder. In Singapore, less than 5% of startups are led by a woman. And this sounds terrible, but if you look at venture capital, it gets even worse. Women-led teams get only 2.2% of venture capital, whereas men-only teams get about 80%. And you're thinking, why? It only makes sense when you realize that at least 80% of venture capitalists are men. And for the startups that have women on their leading teams, have women as a founder, often minority and Muslim women are practically invisible. So in December 2015, I founded a community called the Cadet Project. What we really wanted to do was create an inclusive, collaborative community for minority and Muslim women to access the success that we deserve in technology. It gave us a space to redefine success for ourselves. And the first 6 months of it, when I went out and I asked everyone, I went to events, networking sessions, I went to conferences, and I just said to everyone, look, this is something I'm doing. Are you interested? And no one had heard of anything like this. And people were either really positive or really negative. A lot of the people who were really positive were minority Muslim women. And they said, this sounds great. We don't know you. We have no idea who you are. You have no track record, but this is something we can get behind. But there were also people who were incredibly critical of what I was doing. And there were two main criticisms of this. Firstly, the criticism was, because we don't have a lot of minority Muslim women in technology, this must mean that minority Muslim women don't want to be in technology. The second one, because I didn't have a tech background, I didn't know how to code. I still don't know how to code. I didn't work in technology, I didn't have any experience, then what made me think that I had the right to solve this problem? So these two criticisms really stemmed from the same belief. And that belief is that in order to create success and to create change, you have to know better and you have to be better than the community you're trying to create change for. You might think, as a minority Muslim woman, this would not be a belief that I shared, that maybe I had deep insights as to how to solve these problems for my community. And I didn't. I had really started the Cadet Project almost by accident. I had been given the opportunity to pitch a social impact idea as part of a scholarship process. And my initial idea was to build a 6-month-long training pipeline where we would get women in, we would train them for 6 months in a specific tech skill and launch them into the tech industry. And I loved this idea. People I pitched to loved this idea. I thought this is the perfect solution to get women into the tech industry. But my initial team whom I had brought on board by saying, look, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to achieve, we created and we did something that would forever change the face of what we'll do in the Cadet Project. We did a public call for minority Muslim women to come and have tea with us, to talk about what they wanted. Dozens of women showed up. We didn't know most of them. We were really surprised, to be honest, by the number of people that showed up. And almost every one of them said the same thing. We don't want a 6-month-long training program. We know what we want, and this is not it. We have things that we want to achieve. We know where we want to go. All we want to ask you for is help getting to where we want to be. And this was huge for me. I realized I was wrong. I had been wrong in a lot of my assumptions. For my team and I, we learned that we did not know better than our community. We're part of the community. We're part of the community we're trying to solve this problem for. And we are part of the people that we're trying to serve. So because of that, we know what doesn't work. What has never worked is people telling us what to do. People telling us how to do it. Giving us one way and only one way to achieve the things that we want to achieve for ourselves. So we needed to change our own mindset from telling our community about what would get them success and really instead listen to them and support the ways in which they wanted to achieve success for themselves. We said instead, and we still say now, tell us what you want. Tell us what you think is possible and come to us from whatever point of knowledge you're at, whatever background, and be welcome. So to do this, we didn't just need to redefine success. We needed to redefine what we meant by technology. We needed to do this really to make the idea of technology a lot more inclusive, not just to be coding, not just to be programming, hardware, software. So we use the term technology to have a much more inclusive meaning. It includes design, social media management. It includes anything you need to do to get your business up and running online. It includes anything you can do on your phone. As long as you have a smartphone, you're in technology. And to us, that is empowering because we're telling women, you're already in technology. You just need to know how to do it a little bit better to get to where you want to be. So we had an inclusive definition, but there was one more thing that we were missing, and that's allies. So I thought at first, because my project was really about minority Muslim women, I only wanted to work with other minority Muslim women like me. And this didn't work out. To fix the problem of there not being enough minority Muslim women in technology, you can't just look at our community. You need to look at the people that are already there. So we work with women of all backgrounds. We work with men, both minority Muslim men and those from other backgrounds. And this creates an environment where we as an organization, as a team, and the minority Muslim women who are part of our community build better social capital and social networks through meeting these people who are allies and sponsors and who help amplify our voices in the spaces they're already in. And I realized that my community cannot be the only source for this solution. The people who are already represented, they're already part of the problem. They're already part of the problem, they're part of the solution as well. And it's been really powerful for me to see the number of people that have been willing to come forward and support the work that we do. Our work now consists of 3 main focus areas. Community building, which is where we welcome, create, and maintain a collaborative environment for people who want to learn, no matter their background or expertise. Skills development, where we provide workshops, events, and hackathons for women to develop the skills, and we hope that women will know that we have the opportunity and the possibility of them choosing what they want to learn in order to improve their lives and their ambitions. And we do storytelling in social media and traditional media, where we reclaim narratives of success that traditionally have not included us. We give minority and Muslim women, and especially minority Muslim women in technology, the platform that we think they deserve more of. We've had over 1,000 people attend our events, and thousands of people from all around the globe connect with us online. Every class that we hold has only one measure of success, and that is, will one woman come? For us, our measure of success is one woman, because that one woman who shows up leaves with the possibility that she will create change, not just for herself, but also for her family, her friend group, her community, and everyone that she gets in touch with. So we're just at the beginning of our journey. We've only been around since December 2015. To have genuine representation in technology that reflects our global community, we need at least 10% of people at every level, in every tech company, in every area of tech, to be minority Muslim women. And it's not going to be easy. It will take a long time. But with the resilience and determination that I see in my own community and the support that we have, I believe that the allies who are giving us spaces, the sponsors that are lifting us up into opportunities that we need, and the women that we see who are growing every step of the way, this change is possible. And that one day it will be accepted and we'll be able to take for granted that success can look like this. Thank you.